Hello YouTube, just showing you this cool thing my brother's done to his bike. Please?
Alright, so remote switch here, and there you go.
You can remote switch his lights on and off, which I thought was quite funny.
So that switches the ignition live on and off.
Not to the engine live, so
No one can kick it up.
if you just try and kick it up now.
If I try and kick it up, it will not start.
It won't fire up. It just switches the auxiliary live on from the alternator, isn't it? From
the battery.
From the battery. It switches the battery live on. Because you can run these bikes without a battery. You've got to have the ignition switch in the on position to actually make it so the engine will run. Alternatively, you could just unearth it, because that's how it works. It just earths everything. But that's pretty good. So from quite a fair way away, it will turn it on and off. Yeah, that's the remote control.
And then it's got an extendable antenna. It's got 4 relays. I'm only using one at the moment.
Just click the other relays. There you go. You can hear all the relays clicking in it. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
So yeah. It's claimed 3,000 meters range with the antenna up.
Yeah.
Works on 315 megahertz.
And also a thing we've done, well, my brother's done to the bike is, because it's a 3-phase generator on it, he actually took the, bell housing off. And
flywheel housing.
Yeah.
Which is just a few magnets in like a bell. And when I took that off, I noticed that one of the phasers went straight to ground because the 6-volt system, without a regulator, couldn't handle it. So I took it off from ground to stop it dumping the electricity. And now I get a lot more power whilst I'm riding along. And it about powers the HID light.
It about powers it?
Yeah, as long as you've not got it idling all the time and you're doing cruise speeds.
Alright. When he gets actual LED bulbs in his indicators,
then it will definitely power it.
Yeah, which he's still got to do.
But that's an LED side light what's running there. And there you have it.
Yeah, he also put the strips down the side. Nothing like being seen and be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those people who've never been on a moped before, you'll know that every car tries to bully you off the road. It's only those who've been in the position that don't do it. It's yeah, quite a bad thing. But the bike's looking good now. It's got the hat box on it. L plate on there. It's looking really good now. His number plate light's quite funny. It's actually an LED panel in the bottom to produce light for the number plate. Just do the brake again. Yeah, looks good. Pretty much almost everything on it is LED now.
Apart from the indicator.
Apart from the indicators. Yeah, the thingy are LED, but the indicators are not yet.
So I brought a proper LED flasher, but it didn't like the pulses coming from the generator and it made it flash too fast. So that idea failed. So I got to look at something else now.
I have to build your indicator flasher out of a 555 timer and a relay.
Yeah.
That'll stop it from doing it.
So the rear LED is a 36 LED tail stop light.
Twin pin.
Yeah, twin pin. And then that's just a SMD 50-50 panel lighting up the number plate. And the side lights are just BA9s with LEDs on them. The rope light, or strip light, is SMD 50-50s that are amber. And that's about all there is to
Oh, it's on both sides as well. It's on this side of the bike. And it's also on that side of the bike as well.
I was thinking of putting it along the front mudguard
Yeah, it would
or
look
fender, but
it would look good.
the laws
Of the UK, which are quite pathetic and horrible.
forbid that because it's forward or above the wheel. It's meant to flash along with the indicators, which these don't.
That's it. So any guys wanted to do this to your bike, if it's forward of the wheel or above the wheel, it's got to flash only with the indicators, and it can only flash, it can't stay on. However, if it's behind the wheel, it can stay on permanently so long as it's under a certain brightness and it's not underneath the car. You can't have underglow on your car. The light has got to be looking down 45 degrees. This is actually on the English government website, so there's no underglow or anything you can have on your car in the UK. And so I've been told it's actually going to be a failure, an MOT failure, if they actually see underglow lights on your car, even though they're not wired up or not running. If they see them under the car, they will fail your car for it, which is how crazy the UK is being. So
some of the daft laws in the UK.
Yeah, so if you do a lot of show events and things, and you have your lights on there for shows, just brush up on it and see what the new laws are. Because they are changing. The laws, they are a-changing. Yeah. All for the worse, none for the better, I might add. None of the new laws are good changing laws. They're all to ban more things, not to make more things readily available. It's always to ban things. Bits full of water. Alright, that's it then. Not a bad little modification to the bike.
There's also one thing that's been changed. The bike wouldn't rev out after I put a larger diameter carb onto it.
Ah, yes.
I later found out that once the spark plug cap was changed from original, it had a resistor in it to stop interference with televisions and AM radios.
Yeah, so some spark plug caps, they have a governor in it, so to speak, a limiter, a resistor. And what that does is it reduces the amount of current and voltage going to the spark plug. Now what this can do is, well, it's there for a bonus really, in terms of if you've got an AM radio or in cars for instance, it's a bonus because it'll stop you getting interference on your radio. But who listens to AM nowadays? Me being a radio amateur, yes I do, but I don't have. I've got direct, leads to my spark plugs on my cars. But yes, and what it was doing was it was restricting the spark plug that much
that it wouldn't burn all the fuel and air in the combustion chamber.
It wouldn't burn all the fuel and air
after a certain RPM.
We actually customised a different spark plug cap. And we actually used the Dremel and cut a groove. I can't really see it on here, but it's on there.
Cut the groove under the
actual rubber coating. We took the inner core of the spark plug cap out, the plastic bit. Inside the plastic bit, which is sealed, is obviously the resistor. They seal it to stop the voltage from arcing across the spark.
And we put a bit of
we just put a bit of speaker wire in there.
The resistor unit.
That's all you do, and that bypasses.
And that's made a massive difference.
Yeah.
And because this bike's older than 20 years, it's not meant to have a resistor.
On it. Mm.
But the spark plug cap, what we brought, was quite new.
Because spark plugs themselves do have resistors in them. You can actually buy spark plugs that don't, but most spark plugs do have resistors in them, and they are there only for reducing the spark just a bit to avoid interference on radios and other forms of electronics. That's why you hear some cars that have really, really noisy ignition systems. If you remember back to your old CB radio days, and a car would drive past you coming in the opposite lane, completely wipe out your CB radio because the amount of ignition noise coming off it would be insane. That's the reason why. Because it never had any suppression on the spark, on the ignition system. But yeah, that's about it for the video, I think. Unless Alex wants to add more. Do you?
That's about it.
Alright then. Thank you for watching, guys, and yeah. And peace out.